Pilo's back.
I'm back, baby.
Took a hiatus. I think you're the busiest guy. I would say fill everybody in on what you've been doing, but I think I would take a while.
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm juggling a lot, trying to help out and do some stuff on the side and
Can you
my
can you can you
normal
juggle for
job.
real?
I really wanted to. You know who could really juggle? Nick Mullins was a good juggler.
Can you do more than three? Because I can do three, and I would put myself up against a lot of people.
No, I couldn't. I always wanted to learn how to do it. I could do the Rubik's Cube
Four, I don't
and juggle.
understand. Three, I got it. So
Yeah.
anyway, maybe I can
No.
help you out with all your work.
I'm like the DeMarco
Just come over there and just
Vickers.
juggle right next to you. You're like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So.
From The Office when Will Ferrell juggled with Invisible. Yeah, that was me. I could do that.
Very nice.
Here we are.
Well, we had an awesome recording last night that will be released here shortly, and we have another one tonight. So let's not dilly dally anymore. Let's go
get to it.
ahead and get to the show. Welcome to the Top Talk. Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to another episode of To the Top Talk, brought to you by Yingling Flight. To the Top Talk is the original and longest-running Southern Miss podcast in the market. We're recording this episode on, Pilo?
July 16th.
From beautiful Hattiesburg, Mississippi, here as always with your break from the High Resource 4 propaganda to talk a little Southern Miss athletics. I'm your host, Jason Bailey. Joining me now, the one and only Patrick Lowry. No, you applauding yourself?
I mean, that's just natural. The crowd goes wild.
I think we need to change that. So just behind the scenes look here on our shared document that we look at. When it says we're recording this episode on, the last time we updated that was November the 5th.
Good thing we don't read it word for word.
Yeah, I almost did last night. Today's episode is brought to you by Yingling Flight. Yingling Flight is a premium light beer brewed by DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, the oldest brewery in America. 95 calories, only 2.6 grams of carbs, 4.2% ABV per 12-ounce serving. Crisp, clean, refreshing taste. Now available in 12-ounce slim cans and screw-top 16-ounce pints. Pick yourself up some Yingling Flight today. Also, would like to invite everyone to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment and review where you can. That really helps us out a lot. Do it.
Do that.
Just go and do it. And after you do it, call somebody and be like, hey, man, can you just do this? So they'll quit talking about it. That would help us out.
Look at it right there.
Yes, there it is.
Subscribe to the YouTube. Come on.
Yeah, just go. It takes 4 seconds. What happened since the last time we recorded? Well, we interviewed Luke Reynolds already this week, and we have another killer guest on tonight. Pilo is back. The Open Championship is underway. I didn't realize that until like 12:30 at night, and I was like, "Whoa, it's already going, right?"
Yeah.
Southern Miss hired a new tennis coach. Saw that come across the wire today, and just really enjoyed our last couple episodes. Gates Weaver was a good one. Talked a lot of soccer, and then the one with Luke, and this week is sure to be a good one as well. I think that we're going to release this one after the voting is already done, but just in case, you can go vote for us for Best of the Pine Belt. You can vote once per day, so you could vote today and tomorrow, or July 16th, July 17th, and that's it.
I mean, we're at least the second best podcast in Hattiesburg.
Yeah, we come in second every time.
I got one more. What happened since the last time we recorded?
Okay.
Southern Miss golf great Jake Moffitt qualifies for the 126th U.S. Amateur at Marion. Hello.
Wow.
Yeah, he shoots 6 under to lead, I guess, his regional qualifier or whatever. 6 under and leading everybody. So, yeah, he has a ticket punched for Marion, which I have the hat for that because I think Marion is one of the coolest golf courses in the country.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder if our guest is a good golfer. We'll ask him in just a minute.
Ooh, that's a great
This is the second time I think the second time. It may have been more than that on the podcast, at least once before. He's been coaching baseball in the collegiate ranks since 2014. Before that, he played at Jones in southeastern Louisiana. He coached for a bit at Southern Miss as a volunteer assistant, then at Charleston Southern, Nichols back to Hattiesburg in 2024. He's been the recruiting coordinator and was recently promoted to hitting coach. So, without further ado, welcome to the show, Coach Lad Rhodes.
Hey,
There he
fellas,
is.
What's happening, Coach?
let's do it.
Boy, man,
This is
people,
fun.
I think people are really excited to hear you talk.
I figured they would be. I'm
Yeah,
excited to
it's
talk
it's
talk a
a
little Southern Miss
I don't know how
baseball.
closely you follow Twitter, but the hitting coach and the duties that go along with that. I think I think a lot of people feel like it's they feel like you're the offensive coordinator, right?
Mhm.
I've tried to explain that's not it's not football, you know. But anyway, we'll get into all that. Coach Creel took the head job at Jacksonville State, which left that opening, and there was lots of speculation as to who the guy would be. And I was promoted within. You're the guy. So what was that like when you got the call? And did you know that you would be the one getting that call?
Yeah, well, it was. I guess first everything with Travis happened really fast. It was within the span of a weekend to where one, I'm kind of waiting to hear, what he's doing and what's going on, and man, I still get chills and excitement. When he called me, I was texting him because I knew he had met with them and there was stuff going on. I'm like, dude, will you call me? Like, what's going on? Let me know what happened. Yes, no, you
Yeah,
get it, whatever. And so I was sitting on my back porch and he called, and that was really cool, man. One, I want to
sure.
talk about him a little bit just because he means a lot to me and this program, obviously, and these players, and super excited for him. He earned that, and it's a program that he's taken over that it's not something he's got to get going. It's an unbelievable program who
Hmm.
in baseball is really rich in tradition. It's had a lot of success, obviously being in our regional this past year, the success they've had. So again, just extremely excited for him, man. That's one of my best friends. And so what an opportunity. But yeah, as for me, I guess it was kind of finding out that's what he was going to do, and he got the job. Obviously, I think it was that day. I was at the house and drove down and met with Coach Oz, and we kind of sorted through some things and met about it, and kind of figured, talking with him, that I was going to get this opportunity. So extremely excited and looking forward to what's next.
Man, that must have been a good conversation. I mean,
Yeah,
so like as you're sitting down on the couch, Pilo, didn't mean to jump in front of you, but like,
No, go for it.
so you walk in, and I mean, he didn't call you to the house. I don't think if it's going to be a bad conversation. So like the whole ride there, you must have been like, I mean, I think I'm in good shape,
yeah.
right? Then you sit
Well,
down, and then like within the first few words, you're like, this is going to be cool, or
yeah, no, absolutely. Between that and then also just trying to figure out, handling, recruits and our returners and
Mhm.
wanting to reach out to those guys because somehow on social media and Kendall Rogers, that stuff seems to get out a little bit before it's announced or before that coach gets the opportunity to tell the team. And
Mhm.
and so we wanted to make sure that happened, especially, for Travis to be able to tell our guys before any of that got leaked out. And so it was a number of things. It was a long conversation, but one I'll always remember, and having that time to be able to sit with coach and know what's next and what we're going to do. So I always remember that one.
Cool.
Yeah, no doubt. So like you're still, I'm assuming you're still recruiting, but you kind of got a different focus now walking into the office every day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was, when Travis was here, that's kind of how we did. Yeah, I had the title of recruiting coordinator. It takes more than one. It takes everybody, especially just the amount of talent in our area and different parts of the country. So it takes all of us, Gunner, Coach Baru, Coach Oz, all of us kind of have a hand in it. And so, uh, but yeah, it's kind of the same thing. And then from a hitting standpoint, I would help, Coach Creel when needed, or any way I could help and take a load off him. But it'll be the same. Cheese will help with the hitting, Coach Brew, Dustin, and B Luke. So it'll be fun.
Um, yeah, well, I was going to ask you about the hitting coach a little bit more, but you mentioned Dickerson there and Cheesebro, but I didn't even think about it, but yeah, I mean, so Dickerson's back. he made it all the way up to AAA like really quick. It kind of came out of nowhere for me. So I don't know if you have any insight as to why, all of a sudden he just, I mean, you said Coach Krill's thing happened fast. The Dickerson thing happened fast too, but good gosh, if there's a guy you want back on your side, coaching that bleeds black and gold and that can help and that has been around it his whole life. I mean, what kind of addition is that bringing Dustin back?
Yeah, we're extremely fortunate. Obviously, the most attractive thing one about Dustin is the fact of how much he loves this program and this university. And like you said, someone who bleeds black and gold. I think that's extremely important. You get someone in this program around the players, especially nowadays with how quickly things can change, to see how much someone loves this university and this program, takes pride in putting on that uniform. Our players see that and they know, and they also know who Dustin is and what he did for this program and why he was here. But then from the baseball standpoint side of things of what he knows and how much he's learned and continued to grow being in the minors and continuing his pro career. I mean, it's unbelievable to have that here now one-on-one on the field, working with our infielders and our guys. I think our guys are extremely fortunate to have that.
Hey, your first time coaching, like recently after you finished playing, because you're a great player as well. What was that? Is that hard to jump there? Like, do you just want to get out there? Like, no, do it this way instead of just telling them how to do it. Does that make sense? I mean, just
Yeah.
it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
So how was that for you, and how do you think Dustin will make that jump?
Yeah, I think you're so giddy about coaching and teaching and all of that. But I think what you come to realize really quickly is the coaching is just probably about 20% of the job. And there's so much more that goes with it. And you don't see that side of it of what the staff does off the field and how much goes into it, from preparation to recruiting to taking care of stuff around the locker room and the field and those things. You kind of learn that quick that the coaching is the side you can't wait to get away and get on the field. And that's just a small portion of it. But it's different, as a young coach, I think, and I'm not saying this is Dustin. I know from my experience, you just got done playing and feel like you have a lot of answers, and not a know-it-all, but you feel very confident in some of that. And it takes you time to, at the end of the day, it's not as much about what you know, it's about how can you teach it and how can you get through to different players, because everyone's different. They all tick differently. And right. So how can you help them grow in a different way? And I think that's the biggest learning curve is there's a lot of great coaches and a lot of coaches who know a whole lot about baseball, but how can you get that through to the guy you're trying to teach it to?
Sure. And talking about the next level, I kind of want to take a second to get your perspective on Joey Urban and, him getting drafted in second day and the 9th round, going to the Blue Jays. Talk a little bit about him as a player and kind of what that means for the program.
Yeah, it's everything. I think as a coach, that was a really cool. We were out in Hoover recruiting, and it was actually me and Cheese and Gunner and Travis. Travis was out there recruiting, so we're all sitting at a table and we know the draft's going on, so our phone's on their table and we're keeping up with it, probably just like y'all or anyone else. We're keeping up with the draft, and really just a cool moment, man. It was his agent had reached out and just said, "Hey, I think the Blue Jays are going to take Joey here." And I look, and it's like 3 picks away. And as soon as it happened, I FaceTimed Joey. He didn't answer. Me and Travis tried to FaceTime him. Of course, he didn't answer. He was probably hugging his family and enjoying that moment. I was trying to get in there and talk to him real quick, but he was enjoying that. But he FaceTimed me back, and that was really, really cool, man. I get chills talking about it. Emotional, all the stuff, man, to see him and his family and how excited they were. But that's what it is. That's what's fun, because Joey didn't come to Southern Miss. He transferred from Butler. Mm-hmm. And when you talk to a lot of kids, obviously you want them to get drafted and you want them to play in the big leagues. That's everyone's goal. Joey's was, I want to win. He could have went out and probably made a lot more money at some other places. Obviously, we were fortunate enough to be able to take care of him. But he said, "Coach, I want to win. I want to play in a real atmosphere, and I want to win and play in the postseason." And never as a player did he bring up or concern about the draft. It was, what can we do now to win? I want a dog pile. And this was just a byproduct of him working his butt off and being so valuable to our team and the process of, I want to win and compete at the highest level. And then you look up and the dude's having the opportunity to get drafted and sign with the Blue Jays. It's a really cool story, and couldn't be
Yeah.
happier for him and his family.
Hey, to piggyback off of that, Urban, like there was a clogged up outfield 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so Urban comes here like a career 330 hitter or something in the Big East. And we all knew like this, somebody's going to get the short end of the stick here. And it was Urban for a little while. So, I mean, how did he handle that?
Yeah, I think if you go back sitting in that dugout, it was probably the best way you'd want a player to handle it. It was very mature. He understood that. I think at the time he wasn't performing. He knew the way he was fully capable of, and he was one he was working and waiting for his opportunity. And I think he knew. We all knew it was going to come. And when he did, he took advantage of it. And so probably about the best you could be in a dugout as a teammate. What's really cool about that team, and now he's getting to play with Jake, but him and Cook and Pato and Davis and Higdon were like all best friends. And so you had an extreme competition going on, but I think the cooler side of that, and the family still talk about, is how close they became during all that. And it wasn't a group that was rooting for that guy to fail, so they got their opportunity. They wanted to have success. They wanted to win. And so whatever that took at the time, and I think because of that, you saw Joey being able to have success when his name got called and got that opportunity.
I think I saw a little bit of the same exact thing this year with Ty Long kind of being the first one out of the dugout to high five Steph when he did something good offensively or whatever, right? Which can't be an easy thing to do, but people throw around the word culture and the Southern Miss grit and this blue collar and all that. But like at the end of the day, there's something to it.
Yeah.
You guys have just cracked the code. You got the secret sauce and you sprinkle it all over everything. And it's, I hope it keeps going like forever.
Yeah, me too. That would be ideal. But no, it is, man. It's a really, we talk about that in recruiting, and we're talking to kids and their families, and you try and explain it and stress it as much as you can that nothing is more important here than those guys in that locker room. And the last thing you want to do is bring in someone that can mess that up. And you can tell pretty quick guys that want to be a part of that and that are looking for that. There's still kids out there that care about relationships and about culture. But that's what it is. I think that's why we have success, is those guys in there love each other. They want each other to have success. It's pretty easy to see the ones that don't want that, and they kind of weed themselves out. But to see that group in there that are playing for each other, that's why Southern Miss is successful. That's why we're successful.
Cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
Bilo?
Yeah, let's kind of change gears a little bit and kind of talk about offensive philosophy and kind of your approach.
This is where everybody's tuning in. Everybody's like, wait a minute.
Right.
Let me pull over. Let me just, everybody shut up. Shut up the dogs and everybody. And we want to hear this.
Well, we got, what's the exact question? What's the,
just what is your offensive philosophy?
Yeah, I think the first thing is, at the end of the day, you want to be dynamic. You can score runs in multiple different ways, and that's one thing we're going to strive to do. It's also based off your team, right? And so if you have a bunch of guys who can really run and are really good bat-to-ball type hitters, you're not going to try and get them to hit a bunch of homers. You're not going to be that successful that way. So one, it depends on your team. It depends on the guys in the lineup. But I think from a focal point, from a whole, we want to be the aggressors. I think that's one thing we're going to strive to be each and every day. We're going to take the fear out of it, and we're going to be aggressive and have a lot of confidence in everything we do. And so, like I said, multiple ways to score. We're going to do that. I think that's the biggest thing, especially for this team. We're going to be really athletic and dynamic. But at the end of the day, confidence is a drug. And so the biggest thing we're going to do is strive to gain confidence by getting out of our comfort zones and taking the fear out, man, getting uncomfortable. That's how you become a good hitter. You got to take the fear out of it and make practice hard, make things hard, and compete at a high level. So when you step in that box, that part of it's easy. But it's going to be fun. I think, mentality is big. Confidence is big, and being aggressive and putting a lot of pressure on that other team, applying pressure nonstop to score runs to the point there they don't want to play you again. And so that's going to be our biggest focal point mentality.
Well, so what I heard was we're going to hit like 300 with like 100 homers, steal like 60 bases. It's
I hope so. I hope so. That'd be nice.
Hey, college baseball, though, I mean, seriously, college baseball seems to trend in different waves through my lifetime, at least as far as I've been around it. like the old school of moving runners and those productive outs, base stealing, bunting. That was for a while. Thinking like the St. Louis Cardinals in the '80s, right? And then there was an era of just hit as many home runs as you can. Like Lance Berkman hit 42 bombs that one year, and they changed the bats. Anyway, there's been trends this way and that way, but I feel like it's kind of moving back to old school a little bit. I mean, is that it just there's no gorilla ball? I don't think that much anymore. Do you get that feeling that we're kind of getting back towards, putting emphasis on a lot of those things that you're talking about, like stealing and aggression and all that?
Yeah, I think so. I think the one thing is before they changed the Beezer bats to the BB core. I think it's getting closer to that again. I think the bats are getting better. I think the balls are a little harder. They changed the seams on the balls. Obviously, they lowered those seams, and so the ball's starting to jump again. And I think you saw some of that too this past year. And the bats are getting closer to what they used to be back when I was coming up in high school, and you guys, it's getting closer to that. But no, I think you watch the big league games and you see a lot of power on the mound. And so with a lot of velo, you're starting to see a lot of that in college more. It's a normal now for a guy to throw 92 to 95. That's becoming more of a thing. And so you start to look at guys who can handle the bat more and be more bat to ball and move the baseball. And the pitching, keeps getting better. And the hardest thing to do in sports is hit. And so finding guys and having guys that put emphasis on moving runners and being able to score in different ways. I think you're starting to see more of that coming back.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you watched the All-Star game, but man, like the National League, I think it was through 6 innings, had 1 hit. Like it's just these are the best of the best. And man, they were just getting carved up by
Doing a lot of this.
Yeah,
it was wild. It was wild.
Like I hope nobody that I coach on my 10-year-old team watched it. I think
it's hard. It's hard because that's what they see and look up to, and I get it. We did the same, but yeah.
But I feel like we did the same, like watching King Griffey Jr.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, I can tell you from this fact to prove your point. Talking with some scouts last year, especially with the shift changing with infielders in the big leagues, they are starting to look for that athleticism again. And guys with some serious bat to ball, and you can add the power. It's hard to teach bat to ball. You got to look for that. That's a skill guys have. And so you look for guys who have really good contact percentages and ratios, and that the power's coming. And so to prove your point, I think there is starting to come a change towards that again.
Cool.
That'd be great to see.
Good. I mean, baseball, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. How much do you depend on analytics versus, kind of what you see when dealing with a hitter?
Yeah, I think the side of us from really using analytics is just going to be a game-to-game preparation from watching another pitcher. We have so much stuff now that tells us their spin rate and what that fastball is doing. That's going to be analytics on that side for us. We do a lot with exit velocities. We want guys to hit the ball hard, but we want to control it. And so when it comes to TrackMan and analytics with us, it's more measuring how hard we're hitting the baseball, but how consistently are we doing that? Is our average getting higher and higher, or is our round of BP, we hit one ball 106 and we hit some 60. That's not very good. We want that average and that high to be extremely close together. And so for us, that's how we use it. You can get very analytical and watch so much video nowadays that sometimes it's not great for you. At the end of the day, we want to keep it simple, and you can make it this game. You can make hitting and everything you do extremely complicated. I think that just gets in your head when this is already a very mental game. We want to make it as simple as possible in our day to day.
Love it. Let's talk about recruiting. I know you're still recruiting, even though you're not the recruiting coordinator anymore. Everybody does it, right? Hell, I think we do it. I'll talk to people. I'm like, is your son good? And you just think about something, but
That's right.
so even though that isn't your main thing, how has recruiting gone this summer?
It's been good. Obviously, the first thing you're trying to do is figure out the portal stuff. And obviously, it's a blessing for us. We're not big transfer portal school. That's not who we are. We're not going to go sign 10 to 15 guys out the portal. It's just not what we're going to be. But we're going to use it, and I think we did a really good job with it this summer of getting guys with experience in here and creating depth and adding some guys that are extremely dynamic. So for us, I think from a portal standpoint, it was extremely successful, as well as the type of kids we brought in. Some of those guys are here and they're starting to work out and do some of those things, and just being around them, they already feel like they've been in the locker room for months now. And so that's always good to see that they're a fit. They're also extremely talented. And so from that standpoint, from a portal side, we've added depth. And I want to say, from an offensive standpoint, this is probably the most competition we're going to have. And that's something we wanted to create in the past few years. And so really excited about that. Return some experience while also the younger guys we had that take another step forward. And then adding those portal guys that have the experience, that are talented is big. This is a really talented group of freshmen. Y'all are going to get to know them. Extremely talented. And so really excited about this team and offense. But then from the other side of it, this summer we've actually spent most of our time watching 2028s. We can't talk to them until August 1st, but that's when that kind of kicks up. And so getting a list of those guys. And then we've added a couple commits in that 27 class as well. So it's been really good. It's been good.
Excellent.
Man, that's crazy. Just thinking about, that far ahead. Yeah, and I don't know if you can answer this question, but kind of what positions kind of were your kind of biggest priorities, and maybe in this cycle, or even in those next cycles, or just from a recruiting standpoint, kind of where are the gaps that you're trying to fill? Maybe not, obviously not for this next season, but for the next 2 years.
Yeah, who's gonna play first base?
Yeah, that's right. Who's gonna play first? No, I think for one, with what we do, and we're so high school heavy that you always feel good about your future teams, right? And so you don't have to sit there and go, we got to go add 5 or 6 pitchers at the portal. We don't have to do that. So you already feel good about it coming into it when you have a guy who is going to be here as a freshman. But what it's done for us is given us the opportunity to get the better high school player, because so many teams are doing so much in the portal. And so really love, how the 27 class is coming along. But going into this year, we didn't need to add much on the mound. We didn't feel like we did. And so getting, I guess you can call it the portal. We got 2 junior college arms in Drew Harrison and Luke Williams, who had great careers in junior college, obviously. But they got some power, too, and some pitchability, and guys that you can see stepping in and pitching impactful innings. And so that was exciting. But, you try and navigate it. And obviously now, this 5-for-5 rule changes some things. It makes your recruiting classes probably a little smaller, because now guys got an extra year. And so that's another dynamic that's kind of thrown on to us that I think is a good thing. It's a good thing for us from a recruiting standpoint, because we're so high school based.
You mentioned JUCOs there. I mean, there's so many JUCOs in the state of Mississippi, and really good programs. I'm a JUCO guy. I think that has to be a plus for Southern Miss. Just to have talent kind of primed, like already at the college level, right? Even though JUCO and D1, it seems like a different sport sometimes, but it's more than high school, right? You're seeing some college level arms, and just to have, and like Pearl River's right down the road, and Jones is right down the road, and so Hattiesburg's kind of at a good strategic location for that. Can you, if you can give the JUCOs some love in the state of Mississippi, and maybe how you guys use them to your advantage?
Absolutely. No, I mean, I'm a JUCO guy myself, playing at Jones and coaching there. And so I know how competitive that league is and how much it taught me and helped me, grow and shape who I am. And so, I think we're in a great location for that. Like you said, you got Pearl River, you got Jones, you got Mississippi Gulf Coast, East Central's not far, Meridian, and those are some of the powerhouses that I just named. And then relationships with the guys up north, Itawamba, Northwest, Northeast. There's so many, and it is extremely competitive. And I think the biggest thing is we've developed really good relationships with the coaches. And so they're very truthful and honest, and they know what we like and what we look for. But it is, man, you go play there a year or 2 years, the experience you get, that's where you kind of grow up a little bit. And so it prepares you. But that league's so tough. And so you're playing against really good competition. And so usually those guys, especially on the mound, step in and are ready to go.
Yeah.
What do kind of recruits want to hear or see when you get them on campus? Like, what is one of their, if you can get into the mind of a, I guess 17 or 18-year old?
Yeah. What are the renovations going to look like?
Yeah, I'll put them up right now. I got them right here.
Oh yeah, okay, great. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, pull it up right now. No, that's a good question, man. I think one, they're all not the same, and so spending a lot of time hearing them. Obviously, you kind of wait and you talk on the phone, and you have so much you're trying to tell them about how awesome this place is, right? But some of it may or may not be what they want to hear. So you got to get to know them first, like know
Sure.
what they like, know what their families do, invest in them, and let them talk, and you're going to learn so much more about them when they're talking, instead of you just taking up that whole phone conversation talking about Southern Miss. I want to know what they like to do, what their interests are, who they are, and all that. And so that kind of gives you an idea first. But I think like anything, they want truth, they want honesty. Ours is easy to sell, right? We can pull up the stats and the numbers of the freshmen that get to play right away. Well, here's proof in the pudding. I'm not just making this up. You're going to play in one of the best, in front of one of the best atmospheres in college baseball. We've been the top 12 in attendance 4 years in a row. You're going to play in front of the best fan base, and then we're going to play deep in the postseason. What else? What else are you looking for?
Sure.
Plus, let's go to our draft picks. Having, I think now 21 guys drafted in the past 5 seasons. So everything you want from a development, from getting treated the right way, from relationships, but also getting to play deep in the postseason and getting the opportunity to continue your goals and your dreams. That's all here for you in Hattiesburg. And so, very confident in saying those things and telling them because it's the truth. And, we show them what we do at the transfer portal. We don't just tell them, we're not a big transfer portal school. I'm sure a lot of people tell them that, but here's the proof. Here's the numbers. Here's how many, players so-and-so's taken. Here's how many left the program. This is why our retention's good, because of the way our guys are treated and playing in front of this fan base and how our fans treat our players. That's all extremely important. And they're looking for that. And I think our brand is obviously extremely big, but I think it's steadily growing, and especially how great our fan base is. I think more and more guys want to be here. And I think that's been fun to see.
No, yeah, it's got to be a nice. I mean, everybody's got an angle, I think, when it comes to recruiting, but it's nice when your angle is like fact based. Like, hey, man,
Right.
just I'm saying this, but here it is, right? So makes it a little bit easier. Let's talk about the coaching staff for a little bit. When you mentioned some of the coaches, I can't wait to see what the fans do with Coach Cheesebro's name. That I can already see the fat head. I think is the wheels have to be turning.
Right.
So first of all, I got what's Coach like and how's he settling in, and also kind of how does Oz just keep this coaching chemistry? Like you always get the right guy, Leger was the right guy. You're the right guy. There's just something to it. How does he do it?
Yeah, I think one that's a skill that he has that he's really good at, is I say reading people, but listening and knowing exactly what he wants in that position. I think, that's this spot here was, highly regarded. A lot of people reached out for this job that Coach Cheese got. And so, Oz had to kind of sort through that. But from the very get-go, we talked about the conversation me and Oz had, there's a lot of great baseball coaches out there. There's a lot of gurus, but this place is unique and it's very special. It's about the fit. And so, yeah, we wanted a good baseball coach, but we wanted someone who could fit with our coaching staff and fit in this locker room and that our players would trust and love. And I think Coach Oz did an unbelievable job in doing that. Obviously, Cheese's success speaks for itself, but the biggest thing in calling and doing our background and learning more is it was more about the person. Everyone said you love him, unbelievable fit, no brainer from that standpoint. And that was Oz's biggest stress was we want to get someone here who fits, and he's really good at it. He's good when he sits down with them and learning that and understanding that it's a skill and trait that he has that he's extremely good at. So that was the biggest thing for us, man, that he was reached out to by numerous people wanting this position. And, at the end of the day, it was about the fit, not just, about getting a brilliant baseball coach in here. It's more than that. It's very unique here at Southern Miss. And so Cheese is awesome. Y'all are going to love him. Unbelievable human, trying to get his family over here, trying to buy a house and do all those things. But You know, easy to communicate, very approachable, can talk to anyone, and it's meaningful. It's not BS. And so excited about him and him being here in Hattiesburg and the fit he is.
I've got a feeling he's going to acquaint himself with the right field roost
Yeah,
pretty quickly.
he could. I could see that.
That's
I could
awesome.
see that.
And I know we touched a little bit about this earlier, but the draft was a little different this year for USM. Had some names called, but as far as returning production, we kind of came out in good shape. I feel like. Talk a little bit about that,
Yeah,
and then we'll hit on another one.
yeah. You know, from a returning player standpoint, obviously the two were Davis and Seth. Those are the two that you knew had an opportunity to
Hmm.
go. They also valued themselves, and I'm not talking just necessarily about money, but they valued themselves extremely high. You know, one because Davis has another year here, and he loves it here. He loves it at Southern Miss, and he knows what that means to be here, to come back here and kind of be the face. You know, especially from our offense and our team, someone who's had so much success here and played in so many high leverage moments and big moments here. Um, and so, yeah, having the opportunity to have someone that much experience, that much talent in the middle of our lineup back is awesome. Seth, same way. I mean, now with the 5-for-5 rule, Seth technically has 2 more years, you know, and not just one more. So, you know, his value ticked up, and knowing that he has another year of leverage
Hmm.
next year in the draft. And so that was big. Again, Seth was our leadoff hitter, our shortstop. When you return your catcher and your shortstop, you feel really good about it. Those are premier positions, right?
Right.
So returning those two guys is exciting. But our freshmen, man, I told you our freshmen are really talented. We had 3 or 4 that were in draft talks. But again, because of this place, um, their value was extremely high. They wanted to come here. It was going to take a lot to get them away from here, and so we came out great with them because I think those are guys and faces that you're going to see and be fan favorites, and
Hmm.
you know, get their name called, you know, higher and some of the top rounds one day.
No doubt. And talking about the draft as well, and former players that are currently in pro ball, do they kind of keep in touch with the baseball program at Southern Miss? Do you guys hear a lot from
Yeah,
them?
yeah, absolutely. We keep up with them a lot. Obviously, we're following along. You know, want them to have success, but keeping up with them, especially going through injury or whatnot. I think one of the coolest times for our players is when those guys are here working out. They come back before they leave and they're getting ready. They're hitting BP on the field with our guys. They're lifting with our guys. And what an advantage for our guys to be able to ask them questions, to learn more about what that life, because it is a different lifestyle, what that's really like. You know, take away the excitement of hearing your name called. What is that life really like once you're on that bus and you're rocking and rolling? And so getting to pick their brains, how they train, their routine, how they go about their day to day, I think is extremely beneficial. So that's cool for us too. You know, we can kind of
Yeah.
take a step back when, you know, you got Trimble and Wallner and Landon Harper, Justin Storm, all these guys here working out with our guys. It's like
Yeah.
having other coaches on the field. Our guys lean on them a good bit. So it's really neat. I think it's great for our guys.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm gonna need a text message next time Walner's in town, please.
yeah.
That's right.
We'll have
That's
to
my
release
dude.
the hippo.
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, "What?"
That's my
Um,
dude.
so, so the guy that I've told my son, I was like, swing like this dude, is Davis Gillespie. And also Dre Barrett. He's kind of latched on to this Dre Barrett thing where he like squats down and goes, and I'm like, do it,
Uh-huh.
whatever. But like, I wanted to ask like what player might have a breakout season last year, but I want to talk about Davis. Like, just he hits the ball so hard, just
Mm-hmm.
so hard, and his legs are like tree trunks, and he's so stable. And like, I think I've probably said it on here a few times, but I feel like he can hit like 25 homers. You know, he's got that kind of thing. So for him as the hitting coach now, like he has to know that too. Like, man, I can hit it like 600 feet that way, right? So,
Right.
I mean, like, how do you keep him? Because you don't want to get pull happy. You don't want to just try to hit everything out to where you hit like 220. Like, what's the balance there with somebody with that much power? How do you get him locked in to kind of be a just a well-rounded
Yeah,
hitter?
that's a great question because you know, that was a big emphasis from Davis from 2 seasons ago and this past season, right? was learning how to use his body the right way. Davis has always been strong. I mean, he's one of the strongest guys in the weight room, and he does. You are correct. When he hits the ball in BP, it's scary. He hits it so dang hard, but he's learning even more and more how to use his body and how to stay under control. And you said the word stacked, but he changed a lot. You know, he used to be real wide. He's much taller, much more relaxed, and he's much looser in the box. But that's a big fight. That's something I tell our guys all the time. I wasn't a home run hitter. I don't know what it feels like to hit a ball 400 feet. So I can imagine, or 450 feet for Davis. I can imagine, you can do that. And so that's a mental fight to go, I know I can hit this ball hard and far
Right.
and full side down the line. And so that is, a big mental battle for those guys is you don't have to do that in BP. There's a lot of people who can get there in BP and hit a ball out down the left field line. How do you train in BP to prepare you for the game? And I think that's somewhere where he took a step and can continue to take those steps, is trusting that. And BP doesn't have to hit every ball over the fence. If he's on time and his direction's the right way, it's in a game with adrenaline and stuff, it's going to happen. And so, and he's also one that he's so confident, and he's one of the more mentally tougher guys, I've been around coaching. There's also times where you just take a step back and let him do his thing. And he's so mature in the way he goes about his work. And so it's fun coaching Davis. It is fun watching him hit BP. It's scary at times because he does hit it so hard. But no, it's a plus of having someone with so much maturity and experience here with our younger hitters as well.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head though when you said relaxed. Like, he does look like he's in complete control every time he steps into the batter's box. Like, he seems like he's so
Very, very simple. It's just simple.
It's nothing.
It looks like a slump-proof approach. And then 2 years ago, he slumped. So I was wrong about that. But,
to give Davis credit, like, he changed a lot of mechanics and different things from his stance to his setup to his swing and his mentality and what he was doing from 2 years ago. And that's why I think you saw a lot more consistency from him throughout the season. Because if you asked our players, if we called the players and said, how many homers is Davis going to hit this year? They would all say 30 or 35. Like, they'd be like, he can hit, because he probably could. But just learning how to trust that consistency of, you don't have to hit every ball out there and BP and those things. And that dude works. He's one of the hardest workers in here too. I give that dude all the credit, man. He works his tail off. And so he's very mentally tough. He goes about his business the right way. So it's fun to watch.
Hey, I think you've talked about the newcomers a few times and said we're, keep an eye on them, but what are their names? Like, who are the guys
All right.
that we should just, go ahead and when we come to some fall practices, like, oh, that's the guy. That's what your lad said was awesome.
How do you want me to do it? You want me to go freshman first or what?
Yeah. Let's go freshman. Mm-hmm.
We'll go freshman first. Two left-handed arms, Logan Buckley from Columbia Academy, who his numbers are ridiculous in high school from a pitching standpoint. Obviously Slade's first cousin. So Logan's a guy who's going to compete. He's very quiet. He's going to be on the mound. He's going to be 89, 92 lefty who can really pitch, but he's not scared. He's going to come after you. And so he's already big and physical and built, and he's a strike thrower. And so that's always a plus. The other left-handed arm we got is London Stewart. He's out of Conway, Arkansas, Conway High School. Actually the same high school as Sean Cover, who's in the freshman hitter we have. But London was a guy who tooled around. That he had some draft stuff. He's extremely athletic. He's been up to 94 on the mound from the left side. A guy that is very talented that I could see really having a big future here. And then 4 right-handed freshman pitchers, Bankston Walters from PCS. I know y'all know who Bankston is. Yeah. Bankston is a huge, jacked up human. He looks like he's built like he's 25, but he's very strong. He can also hit, man, and it's a really good swing from the left side. Bankston's a guy who competes at a high level. Taylor Latham from Hartfield Academy.
That's my guy.
Yeah, Taylor's a big arm, up to 95 several times, 96 this year. Power stuff. Jackson Meehan from Northwest Rankin. He's another righty, 89, 92, 93. He's a Northwest Rankin mold. Those guys like to compete, and so we like those guys. And then,
that's that's where I went to high school.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did not know that. It's the house that Hump built. What are we talking about? Hey, next time you're up there, throw my name around a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, well, I'll do it. Alex Richardson from Belle Chase, Louisiana, a guy who's been 90-94 right-handed pitcher, extremely talented. So this freshman arm, I think you heard some big velos being thrown out. They are very talented, but what's cool about them is they're all really athletic and dynamic, and they throw a lot of strikes, and so that's always a good thing. Freshman hitters, Justin Word, middle infielder from Jackson Academy. He was another guy that had some draft talk. Extremely dynamic, can play kind of anywhere in the infield, can go to the outfield. He's built like Ty Long, like they are both physical specimen. Then you got Gavin Smith, the first baseman from Vestavia Hill, same high school as William Tunsmeyer and Bruce Littleton. He's a big physical left-handed hitter with real power. And I think the outfield is very athletic and dynamic. Trey Barnes from Petal. Trey's 6'4". He's also a 6'4" runner. He's a freak athlete, 3-sport athlete, very dynamic with real power. Henry App is another guy. He can fly from Hartfield Academy, left-handed hitter. And then Sean Cover is a guy that I think you're going to get to know very quick. He could play multiple positions. He played shortstop in high school, could play third, but also can go out to the outfield and play right field or whatnot, can really move and has a really good hit tool. So probably one of the more, I hate putting this on him, but one of the more exciting freshman class incoming guys we've had.
That's great.
So really excited about this group. You want to go over the transfers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let it rip, Coach.
All right, let's do it. Outfield was big for us and getting some experience. Obviously, when you lose Hig and Urban, and then losing Pato the year before, want to add an older piece there. So Cade Baker from Toledo. He was from Texas, went to Toledo out of junior college. Kind of what we were looking for in that outfield spot was someone who was dynamic. Cade stole 18 bases. He was ninth in the country in doubles with 23. Hit over 300. Very short, easy swing, can play center or right, can really run. We talked about first base. That was a big one, right? Cannon Peary from Grand Canyon University, career 300 hitter, started every game at first base. He's 6'3", 230. Also stole 8 bags, went there as an outfielder, as a corner outfield. So very athletic, dynamic for how big he is, which is exciting. And then Brady Waugh from UAB was a Shelton State junior college guy. Went to UAB, hit like 315 with 8 or 9 homers, good bit of doubles, played second for them, left-handed bat. That was another, emphasis for us was getting another left-handed bat in here. And so excited about him. Family, Southern Miss grads, huge Southern Miss fans. So really excited about having Brady on board. And then 2 junior college arms, Drew Harrison and Luke Williams. We talked about them. The careers they had. Luke was at East Central for 1 year. Has been up to 96, 97. It's real stuff. He's a closer type guy. He wants that moment. That's who he is. He wants this place rock and then come running down for the bullpen and finish this thing out. Drew Harrison, starter at Pearl River, had an unbelievable career there. 4 or 5 different pitches. Has been 92, 95. Extreme competitor. Excited about him and just the experience. You lose Colby and Cross, and 2 guys who usually came out of the bullpen like every game. One of them were coming out, it seemed like. So, a reliable hand, right, for coach. And so knowing you have 2 new guys coming in that have that experience with really good stuff is a good feeling. And then behind the dish, Brock Clayton from Northwest Florida was a Florida commit, went to Florida as a freshman, then went to Northwest Florida. Can also play outfield, can move around, can play first, can move around. So he's 6'2", 6'3", 210 pounds, left-handed hitter with some real juice and tools. And so I feel like, our need and our emphasis going into this portal this summer was we wanted to add guys that were dynamic, and we feel like we checked that box. And then wanted to add some experience from a pitching standpoint. Feel like we did that.
All right, Pilo,
Yeah,
take notes there, or,
that was awesome.
That's. I felt like the episode we do with Glenn Dyer every year from 24/7 Sports before football. We're just like We just pull the string and just let him go.
How about it?
You know?
Yeah. Or anytime we have Coach Ladner on, you're just like,
Yes.
hey, Coach, basketball. And 30 minutes later, it's like he
you
hits
go.
everything. We don't have to ask a question.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, zero prep work. I'm like, no notes, just what, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, is this so I mean, has the program gotten to a point, Coach, where it's like Omaha or bust? I mean, it's hard to say. We have the 40 win streak and we have, but has it gotten to the point to where, I mean, every season is different, but from a fan perspective, you look at it kind of as a unit, like a thing. And you're like, man, you've been so awesome for so long. But it's the ultimate goal for every team. But is it with you guys? Will like next season feel like you didn't accomplish all you could without doing injuries and all that? If you don't get to Omaha,
Oh, that's a fun question.
I mean, I hate to even ask it, but it is. I mean, we're so good.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously, when you come to Southern Miss, that's the goal, is to kick down those doors and go through the gates and get to Omaha. That's always a goal. When it ends early, it is disappointing. Last year was one of the more successful seasons in Southern Miss history, winning 44 games. But what we did in the regular season, winning the regular season and the tournament, what a heck of a year! And being a 9 seed, I think that's accomplishment in itself is unbelievable. But at the end of that game against Virginia, there was a lot of heartbreak, not just because it ended, because you felt like you had a group that was itching for that. And so, yeah, obviously that's always a goal. Omaha's a goal. We want to play this thing as long as we can. And you try and put together a roster and a group of guys that you feel like can do that. And so I think we've accomplished a lot. I think what we accomplish here at Southern Miss is big time, what we do year in, year out. But yeah, it's always a goal, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it here soon. So we're excited about that.
So I've got a few questions here so we have a Discord group, and I told them that you were coming on tonight, and I asked if there was any questions. There's a couple of them here that I think that I can ask.
Okay.
Maybe.
So I'm like, so
Ask all of them. Let's do it. Let's no, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, I think you've kind of answered this one already, maybe, but like it says, not that I know the difference between different hitting philosophies, but what is his approach?
Yeah, I think that changes hitter to hitter.
Mm-hmm.
One guy's approach is going to be a different from another. I think there's also situations that tell you what your approach is, different ballparks you play in, the score, the team you're playing against. That's going to change your approach. At the end of the day, we want to be extremely aggressive, and we want to apply a ton of pressure on that team we're playing. And that's not just by what it can be that day. It could be having a bunt if we have to, having to steal a base if we have to, having to move guys over. I think we're going to try and score in many different ways and be extremely dynamic.
I think that without me asking the second question, I think that answers it without me having to try to get through that. So anyway, the last question I think is pretty good. And it says, what's something that is distinct about baseball recruiting from other collegiate sports?
I think probably navigating the scholarships is one of the more. Is that what they're kind of asking? I'm not sure, but navigating. When a few years ago we just had 11.7, and you don't have fulls that you can give guys full and then give them a little rev share on top. You're trying to cover their school. Navigating numbers in different ways. I think that's probably the harder things. And then the longer you do it, I think something that's really cool is you really make comparisons. Like, who does this player remind you of that you've coached before? Who do you compare him to? I think that helps. I think the longer you're around it, the more players you see, the more players you coach. You try and make comparisons to guys that have had a lot of success. And I think that's the unique thing is you try and predict guys with bat speed and different things that can hit high velocity once they get at this level, can do different things, whose velo is going to tick up, who's usually sometimes the football guys get faster, but they're already pretty fast. Right. So you go back on guys that were maybe 87 to 89 in high school, which is good, but you go, could they be a 92, 94 one day? So you try and predict how their body's moving and stuff like that. I think that makes it pretty distinctive from that end of it.
Very good. Pilo, we have kept coach for quite some time tonight. Let's
Yeah,
go
we
ahead
have.
and get to the quick hitters. It was so good. He's engaging and just, we both like baseball. And I have to stop myself. I could do this for 3 freaking hours. So go ahead and hit the music, Pilo, and we will get to this quick hitters and we'll get coach on his merry way. You can go first.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. Right in the middle
Next
of my
time
reload.
I'm on, I'm gonna have the quick hitters.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I've never done it. I asked Pilo one time. Remember that?
Yeah.
I got some questions prepared for him. Okay, first one's the easy one. Favorite baseball movie?
Oh, Moneyball.
Yes.
Oh, Pilo.
Yes.
There it is.
Also,
That's what I'm talking about.
Major League is right there with it. But
Yeah.
I watched Moneyball a week ago in a hotel room in Hoover, so that was the first one on my mind, and it was awesome.
I mean,
but I've seen it before, but
If you haven't
but
seen
gets
the
on
Major League
tweet,
is right. Major League's right there.
the Russo Moneyball home run tweet
That
was
Pilo did. Yeah.
maybe the best thing we've ever done.
It was
I'm just
awesome.
throwing that out there. That took way too long to do, by the way. Go to Hattiesburg lunch spot.
You know,
Ooh. 2 Qdobas
Um,
now. We got one, Jason. Got one out
Huh?
west. So we have a Qdoba out west now.
Is Qdoba, is that the same thing as a Chipotle?
very similar.
Lord. Similar
it's-
but different.
We're getting one of those right across the street also.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are, and I'll be over there. You believe me?
Yeah.
I'm a big
That is
fan.
a golf cart. I can golf cart my ass there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I asked Luke Reynolds last night when we interviewed them or him about his golf game, and he was like, "I'm a scratch golfer." I was like, "Okay, easy, okay,
Dang,
big guy."
I hate I missed that.
So talk about your golf game.
It's not great. It's not very good.
That's how you know he's a good recruiter, right there.
I swing the bat left-handed. I golf right-handed. I would say my golf game was enjoyable when I sold insurance 10, 12 years ago. I was playing golf a lot more. I could play and enjoy it, and I don't now. I just don't
Yeah, a lot of those
play it.
insurance guys seem to be good golfers. I wonder why.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, not anymore. It's not
they
fun.
they write that expense off.
That's right.
Come on, man, let's go
Business.
play.
Business meeting. Player that kept the dugout loose last season.
Ooh. Urban and Higdon would keep the dugout pretty loose. But our older guy, I mean, they all did a really good job. Ty is very good when he's in the dugout. He's also very good. He keeps it loose in there. So
I can imagine.
I smile just thinking about Tai Long. Like
He's
every
the
time I
best.
talk to him, he's
He's the
just
Just
I'm rooting for that guy.
daggum.
big, a lot of people here. Best place to play on the road in the Sun Belt.
Probably Lafayette's atmosphere is fun.
I mean, I think it would be cool if we could ever get the experience of playing at Coastal, but none of us know
I know.
how that is, right?
No, the experience. No, I don't. I thought you were talking about the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been there, so that may be one.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I've heard
Shout
it's
out,
good, though.
Shout out, Rage Review.
No. The Teague is legit. It's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's a fun
Yeah,
atmosphere.
and the food. I mean, come on. Worst place to play on the road in the Sun Belt.
Georgia State.
Georgia State.
I mean, y'all said it at the same time.
Oh, I mean, they're building a new thing, but as it is now, when I watch on TV, I'm like, I hope recruits aren't watching. It's how bad I think it was, just for me.
I
Yeah.
like
It's
the
a
hot,
tough-
like the
it's a-
hot.
It's just a tough environment. They're so competitive. It's a tough place to go play.
Yeah, they're a bunch of cheaters. Favorite Major League Baseball park?
Park.
Mhm.
I love Truist.
Yes.
I love Truist. Fenway is up there though. I just like Truist just because I'm around a lot and I love the Battery. But Fenway's
Yes.
awesome. Fenway's right there with it. You can't beat the history.
No. Oh man, nailing all these answers. Pineapple on a pizza? Yes or no?
My man. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is like my favorite interview ever. All right, go ahead. Jason.
Which coach on staff would last the longest on the TV show Survivor?
Oh man, I think Oz would, just because he loves being in the woods and he could figure out how to survive and do something.
He would own that damn island by the end.
He would.
You know?
I think it would be Oz. It may be Coach Mack.
Oh,
That's where I thought you would go.
that's a
but
game
Oz-
changer.
but
Yeah.
Oz has more feel for nature and how to like make stuff out there. It would be Oz. It's a no-brainer.
Oh, this is a good one. Coach's home run derby. Who you got?
And let's take Dustin out of the equation. He's too new. And
B-Luke.
Okay,
That's an easy one.
that's true.
Definitely B-Luke.
All right. And this is, we've already asked that other question about the
this is
apps,
good.
Pilo.
Yeah.
Final question for you, Coach. In 5 years, what do you hope fans will say about Lad Rhodes' impact on the Southern Miss program?
I think the one thing that's important to me and why I do this is about the relationship with the players and the development of them, and that was the most important thing, and watching them grow and develop, and obviously turning into great ball players and being extremely successful in this. That's what we get paid and hired and fired to do. But the relationship part of it and that side and that aspect of development is extremely important to me. So I would hope that they would say that.
Awesome. If anybody out there is not following Coach Rhodes on Twitter, do it, because he kind of lets you know. Every time he finds a new guy, you'll just see this random like celebration tweet from a former Southern Miss happening on the baseball field, and it's really cool. So we all know something's coming. Then like the phone starts lighting up, like, who'd we get? I'm like, I don't know. It's not like we talk all the time. But anyway, Coach, thanks so much for coming on. Everybody go follow him if you can. And just on your way out the door, is there anything you'd like to leave the Southern Miss faithful with?
Nope, just excited. Can't wait for February to be here, and know when you blink and open up, it's going to be on. And so ready for that, ready to smell it and feel it and hear it again. But I know they'll be out in the fall for inter squads. But appreciate you guys and all y'all do. And I'll let you. I don't know. Do you close it out with the Southern Miss?
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Southern Miss
to the top.
To the top, baby. All right, Coach. You can close it
Thanks,
down.
Coach.
We will finish it out.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. See y'all.
See ya.
Appreciate you.
There it goes. Awesome. Ah, man, Pilo, that was good. Good to have
That
you
was
back.
great. Yeah, man, good to be back in the saddle.
I know you've been
wanna
super duper busy and all
Take
that.
a 30.
I think we're good. I think we can just
Okay.
go ahead and plow right through this thing.
keep
Unless when we're gonna do tweet of the week in a minute, if there's any way that you can pull up the last couple Cloverleaf tweets, if a 30-second would like help you do that.
I can do it. Yeah,
They're just they're so good that we might have to do that. So if you only hit a 30 seconds, everybody can kind of get ready for these tweets. We can do that.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right. So, yeah, it's well, I'll tell you what, before we get too far, I would like to thank our title sponsor once again and remind you that Yingling Flight, because look, without them, it's hard to do all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's more expenses that go into this than everybody imagines, I think. So, very proud to have Yingling Flight on board. So I would like to thank them once again and remind you that Yingling Flight is available in 12-ounce slim cans and 16-ounce screw tops at most retailers. Buy yourself some Yingling Flight today. Cloverleaf Mall Tweet of the Week, brought to you by Katie Bailey with Dunbar Real Estate. Any house, anywhere, anytime. Call today, 601-408-9980. And on that front, my wife has a house for sale right now that's 10 minutes from Hattiesburg or so. One of the nicest houses that I've been in that she sold. It's pretty new within the last probably 5 years or so. She's got it on the market. So you can call her at that number that I just told you, and get yourself a showing. Just go look at it, right? Whether you want to buy it or not, and so we can help get that thing sold. But the Cloverleaf Mall tweet of the week is going to be brought to you by Cloverleaf. He just left us no choice this week. I've gotten off of Twitter a little bit. After like a decade, I'm like, all right, so you can't change anybody's mind. That's like, I think I finally came to that realization, because I would like to think that I keep an open mind, and sometimes I can be like, that's a good point. Most people don't do that. I just got tired of it. So I'm doing a lot less on Twitter, but I still look at it. And Cloverleaf Mall is the absolute GOAT. He has put out 3 videos in a row that are just absolutely incredible. I don't even know how he does it. You probably know how he does it, Pilo, because you're in that world, but
Yeah.
it's creative. It's spot the hell on. It's funny. It's there's so much to it. So do you have those 3?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, if you want to set them up and let them rip, or however you want to do it, we'll sit back and enjoy.
Yeah, let's see. Hopefully I can get this to work the right way. All right.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Please avenge my terrible mistake. My people have truly suffered enough. You must beat him and restore our legacy. Row, row, row the boat.
I know a winner when I see one. There is 0 chance of not winning at least one battle as our leader.
If you lead your men to just one victory, just one, you will have a far greater legacy than the one I left behind. I will lead these men to victory. We will defeat Phrodius Maximus and his emerald wave of soldiers.
Well, John, you couldn't ask for a better atmosphere for an epic battle today between 2 heated rivals. Hi, y'all. Do you remember me? I'm Phrodius Maximus, your former coach from Amory, Mississippi. See y'all in New Orleans.
Why exactly am I even in this movie? I quit like 8 months ago.
So good.
Oh my goodness.
The director of the year is Cloverleaf Mall.
Are we going to the next one?
Yep.
All right, let's see.
I'm Ricky, and I sell football tickets for a fair price at Southern Miss. That's Jeremy. He's trying to sell out this place. He's the one in charge of fixing this program. That's Will and Ellis. They're the ones that mucked up this program that Jeremy now has to fix. This is Coach Blake Anderson. He's going to bring us back to championships and national prominence. A lot of these seats are old, hot, and uncomfortable. Some of them even have stains on them. That's not important. What is important is supporting this new team. Now you're probably asking yourself, will this team be any good this year? The honest truth is, nobody knows. What we do know, this team deserves your support, regardless of Will and Ellis. So call me today and buy some tickets at a fair price and help support Southern Miss. Why am I still here?
How did they do it?
I hadn't seen this one.
All right, last one.
Let me start by saying I owe everyone an apology. We had no choice with adding Louisiana Tech after Ohio turned us down. Multiple times. You will notice a red bucket being passed around. We are taking donations to help pay for Lafayette's $50 million budget deficit. Please give what you can. Congrats to the Warhawks. Thanks to the Cajuns, you are no longer the poorest team in the Sun Belt. Where is Butch Jones? Man, how in the world are you still here? It appears we have some urgent news. Georgia Southern has scored yet another touchdown at Marshall. Raise your hand if you believe App State really sold out every seat again. Yeah, me neither. I would like to give a special shout out to Coach Charles Huff. You had a tremendous impact on Southern Miss for about 5 games. Where is Coach Blake Anderson? Man, I would not want to be you this season. One quick housekeeping note in baseball. We are keeping the tournament in Montgomery. Deal with it. Can someone please tell me why James Madison beats each of you in everything? I mean, seriously, it's embarrassing. I respectfully ask everyone to please stop asking. We are not dumping Georgia State from the conference.
Wow. I mean, unbelievable.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so good. So, I tried to set one of those up last night and just talk people through it because there's just too many buttons. Anyway, very well done. Thank you for doing that. And thank you, Cloverleaf Mall, for I don't think we deserve you, you're a national treasure. I'm so glad that you are a Southern Miss guy.
Yep.
What else do we got here, Pilo? So we'll hit the baseball camps again because I think that one will still be going on. So by the time we release this episode, there is another baseball camp. That's July 20th through the 23rd. It's a summer kids camp. And then the one that I like so much is the father-son camp. That's August the 29th, K through 8th grade. You can reach out to usmbaseballcamps@gmail.com or bradenluke at usm.edu. The men's basketball team has a golf tournament as well. Jay Ladner golf tournament is July the 27th. So that's coming up in a couple weeks, looks like. Call 601-266-6355 for info, and all of that money that at those kind of events goes directly to basketball. We don't have to depend on how the pie is divvied up from a NIL standpoint or from a profit sharing standpoint, any of that stuff, collective standpoint. It's just you go there. If you pay any money to get into it, all of that money goes into the basketball pot. So that's kind of, it's a very big deal for basketball. And what else do we have? In tennis. So Southern Miss Tennis has announced a new head coach. Nathan Horner announced as the new head coach for tennis. He comes to USM from Marist, where he was just named the conference coach of the year for whatever conference that is. And that's it. Pilo. So we come to our shout out section again, and we're just going to keep this Art of Rue thing just because I like saying it and because Art of Rue is really good. And, but the shout out segment of the show is brought to you by Art of Rue. Art of Rue is a locally owned and operated restaurant in Hattiesburg, serving po' boys, gumbo, red beans, seafood plates, and more. They're located at 208 North 38th Avenue and can be found on the web at art-of-rue.com. Art of Rue. It is Cajun comfort food. Do you have any shout outs, Pilo?
Yeah, I was going to give actually Art of Rue one just because I saw where they are doing a collab with somebody that does crawfish pies. So like it's kind of like a puff pastry kind of.
Okay, that guy in Pedal?
Yeah, I think so. And so he's starting serving those tomorrow through the weekend. So he's going to just serve them till they run out. So
yeah,
I will probably be over that direction tomorrow around lunchtime and go try it out. And yeah, go check them out. And if you haven't been in a little while, there's lots of new stuff. We had it, I think earlier in the week, something my entire family eats. So if you haven't had the new buffalo sauce, I talk about it all the time. It's great. Go check them out.
Cool. I'll give a few. Luke Reynolds, gave him a couple already, but just a really nice dude and very thoughtful interview that we had last night. And go check him out at DBAT. If you're a little intimidated, like what is DBAT? It could not be any more easygoing or just not intimidating at all walking in there. So it's cool. I'm glad Hattiesburg has one, and it's nice to know that Luke's running the thing. Josh Hoffpower and his wife Kara saw them tonight at the little concert at Midtown Green. Tyler Tisdale and Holly Rumbarger were playing. They were the performers. They played some acoustic guitar, and it was great, man. It's so cool. That's another bonus about living in Hattiesburg, specifically in Midtown. And then also, so get this, Pilo. So I get there, me and Buddy, my dog, the dog that was on the show earlier. We go and we set up the chair. And as I'm like setting up my chair and putting out his water bowl, I hear like a ruckus. And I look up. Some guy's choking. I mean, like choking bad. And like I don't. I think I know how to do the Heimlich maneuver. I'm not positive. I've seen it done. I've never been trained to do it. I was like, "Well, should I run over there?" Some guy ran over, man, and I mean, two guys actually, and one of them really knew how to do it. So he started Heimliching this guy, and he got it out. I think it was an ice cube.
Wow.
And the guy sat right back down, and the guy was still playing music. And so anyway, just right when I got there, I was like, I might see somebody die. Till like I saw somebody save a life. Anyway, it was awesome. It was community, and it was like a act of being a human, and it was cool. So shout out to whoever the hell that guy was that saved the man from choking. Shout out to the guy that didn't die.
Yeah.
Hopefully he listens to this podcast. He's like, that was me.
Yeah. What a shout out segment. Holy smokes.
Very cool. Yeah. Hey, this episode was brought to you by the premium light beer Yingling Flight. Established in 2020 by the oldest brewery in America. Crisp, clean, refreshing taste. 95 calories, only 2.6 grams of carbs. Pick yourself up some Yingling Flight today. That's it. Thanks for listening in today, which I think is going to be like next Monday. Whatever day you might have listened in whichever platform you chose to listen in on. Remember, you can follow me at Bumper J. Bailey and Patrick at Peel Howery. Follow us on all the social at To The Top Talk. And don't forget about the mailbag. ToTheTopTalk@gmail.com. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell somebody to the top today. And as always, set a miss.
To the top.
Talk.
I don't have anything.
No.
I could play
Yeah.
Bye.
Alabama, USC, or Notre Dame. You have lots of things to offer, but Southern Mississippi puts you all to shame. I was born here in Hattiesburg, never ventured far away. When it comes to playing football, here in Eagle Heaven is where I'm gonna stay. I could play for North Carolina, Ohio State, or LSU. You play a good game of football, but Southern Mississippi is a whole lot better than you. When the football season is over and done, the fans here in Hattiesburg will be proud of what we've done. I could play for the Georgia Bulldogs, Florida State, or Tennessee, but I chose Southern Mississippi, and right here at home is where I'll always be. I could play for Alabama, USC, or Notre Dame. You have lots of things to offer, but Southern Mississippi puts you all to shame. I could play for North Carolina, Ohio State, or LSU. You play a good game of football, but Southern Mississippi is a whole lot better than you. When the football season is over and done, all your teams with famous names will see we're number one. Ask Mississippi State. Ask Mississippi State.